My name's Judge Tawny, and I'm sentencing you to live on Ganker World. No, you can't do this to me. No, I didn't kill my wife. We heard enough testimony on the matter, and we think that you did it. You're guilty, and so you're gonna go on Ganker Island now.
Guys, I'm on Ganker Island. That's the premise of the video. So all of the narrative will revolve around that. So I'm being punished because of... They said I did a crime I didn't commit. What's this guy here for, I wonder? This other invader. Oh, they also got him. He was just stealing. He was stealing bread to feed his sick children after his wife died. But the law doesn't care about nuances. They only care about being corrupt in their own power. And the guards on Ganker Island, they're all really mean and bad to us. And I've got to remember what Shawshank Redemption was like, so that I don't accidentally just do Shawshank Redemption. I'll never forget the day when Judge Tawny looked at me and sentenced me to live on Ganker Island. A fate worse than death. It's a fate worse than anything you can imagine, because they just sit around and they just shoot lasers anytime you get anywhere close. If you have a friend who can help you fight off the Gankers, it's just laser time. But then also sometimes the other inmates on Ganker Island, all they do is shoot lasers too. And it's like, if we could just work together. If we could just work together, we could escape Ganker Island. But I need you to not also get in my way. I need us to work together, the power of teamwork. But they don't know that, because they've never experienced teamwork before. But I was a cop before I came to Ganker Island, so I know about how to use teamwork because my job is coded as morally righteous. So since I have moral righteous code in my DNA, I know how to be good. But these other players don't, because they spent their entire life trying to get bread for their sick children. Oh, there's all these kids out there and they're so sick and they just have to have bread. It's the only cure for diseases is to get some of that stolen bread. And so that's all they focused on. All they focused on was that. And I thought that I was doing a good thing by locking them up on Ganker Island. I thought that I was doing a good job. But it turns out that the power of the law was just corruption, and I wasn't. So I have to learn my own personal lesson about how I can make it work with other people. Alright, now we're cooking. Now this is sounding like a good story. You see these two Gankers right here? They're here on Ganker Island, and they're like the guards, and they're playing music real late at night and putting me on a watch, so they gotta come look at me every few minutes, and they shine a flashlight at me, and they're all the time harassing me because of the corruption. But I've gotta be strong and learn how to navigate this harsh new world that I'm in, and make it work for me. But obviously that's easier said than done. So, I show flashes of brilliance, but I'm like a fish out of water. I'm not used to being the one who they turn the law on. I'm used to being the one who turns the law on other people. And I thought that made me a good person. I'd I would go to the market, and there'd be 150 people lined up to steal bread for their sick children. And I'd just arrest them all and put them in jail. But then they killed my wife. That's what they did. And then they said I did it, but I didn't do it. Who could have done it? Someone powerful. And they blamed it on me because of the corruption. And now I'm learning harsh lessons on Ganker Island. But it's alright, because, you know, after a period of time passes, I get hurt real bad. You think I'm dead, but I'm not. You think that I'm dead, but I'm not. I'm fine. But it takes a while for me to recover. But as I recover, you slowly start to see that I have grown more accustomed to being here on Ganker Island, and it's still hard, but this is my new normal. This is what normal is to me now, and so I learn how to survive, because that's what you do. And there's even a scene where I have to steal bread. I have to steal bread for a sick child, and my character is doing a full 180, but he's hanging on to the principles of honor that he had in the first place. He's a different sort of criminal. He's like the Jesus of criminals. He's like Sweet Buddha criminal. But he's not a criminal, remember? But maybe the lesson is, who really is the criminals? The judges, the law. Maybe the opposite of what you think is real is the real one. So, someone powerful killed my wife for some reason, and they did it, and then they framed me for it. And so I was like a guy who was, I thought I liked their system. I thought that it was good. But then they turned it on me, and I realized that everyone who wasn't on top was expendable. But now I'm on Ganker Island, and you know, I'm making friends. I'm like a whole new guy, but I still maintain, you know, those principles that made me a good guy. But now I know what a good guy really is. And on Ganker Island, sometimes they don't go into the boss. All they have to do is walk into the boss fight, and I can't get them. I can't hurt them anymore. But they don't want to go into the boss fight. They want to gank on Ganker Island. And so I realized that the elevator, there's no escape. There's no escape from Ganker Island unless you come up with a plan. And so I did come up with a plan. I talked to this guy, and he's old, and he's wise. He's wise to the world, and he's wise to the ways of Ganker Island. He's got a plan to help me escape. He said if you pull the lever, you actually can't be hurt at that time. And so that's what I did. I pulled the lever. And now I have to avoid all these people. They want to take my blood. They're all bleed builds, and that means they want to take my blood. So you know what that means. It means everyone on Ganker Island is a vampire. And that's the twist. That's the twist story right there. But once you get a vampire separate from its pack, it just falls down. It just falls down. And then what's it gonna do? What's it gonna do? It's gonna fall down dead. And they're trying to see, now I could probably leave Ganker Island right now if I wanted to. But I'm not locked up in here with them. They're locked up in here with me. And so then I've got to let them know that I'm really righteous. I have real righteousness. Their righteousness is fake. It's false. And so they just give up and give me all of their vampire runes. But then it turns out that this guy had the Taunter's Tongue on. Another invader shows up. Another prisoner of Ganker Island. And then this guy goes into the boss. Now he takes his chance. Because he's a coward. He's not coded as righteous like me. I'm coded as righteous. They are coded as cowardly. And also, my wife is dead, but she and we did it. We got down and dirty, and really showed each other our stinking asses. I'm a sex guy, and all these people are not. All these people are people who've never, they want to, but they can't. They've never been able to show their stinking ass to anybody, and they've never seen any other stinking ass other than their own when they go to the bathroom at night. And then they just look at their own stinking ass in the mirror. But I'm not like that. I'm a cool guy, you know. So they don't want to go fight the boss. They want to stand right in front of. But now, these guards right here, maybe they think they're doing the right thing. Maybe they think that, but it's only because they haven't had the system turn on them like I have. I know that in the system, everyone's expendable, except for the powerful judges, and they're the only ones. And the guy who owns the bread store. The guy who owns the bread store that heals all the sick children. These guys think that, it's gonna work out for them. And maybe it will, up until someone powerful decides that they want to kill their wife and blame it on you, like they did me, and trapped me here on Ganker Island. But the story has come a long way now. And so we can see that I'm so familiar with Ganker Island now. And so see, this next guy, he's also honor coded. This guy up here. But he has, see how he's got a rune arc? That represents the privilege of not knowing that the system will kill your wife. And when it does that, it'll blame it on you if a powerful judge or a bread seller was in charge. Also, he's got the fast roll as well, and he's doing wave dashes. What he doesn't know is that they don't pay him enough. They don't give him enough money, because if they just pay him $60, he could play Street Fighter, a game where some of that tech might matter. But you also don't have the benefit of being able to run freely and uninterrupted, because eventually your ass is going to hit a wall, and then I'm going to mash drive impact. But wait, suddenly I've returned to Ganker Island, the place where it all started, with the same two guards. But then it turns out there's a secret. These aren't guards. This is the judge and the bread maker. They hunt people for sport. They're sport hunters. But they have a faucet of people to hunt. But they turn off the faucet so that they only ever have to hunt one at a time, unless you just get lucky and then a second one shows up. Because of the privilege that they have as as members of the dominant class in our society. But if you ask me, I think it's time that we sentence the judge, and I think it's time that we eat the bread. So it's the baker and the judge, and they're back where it all started. And when you know it, a friend showed up. A friend showed up, and he was caught stealing. So his wife died, and his children were sick, and so he stole the bread, and then they blamed him for his wife's. So he's just like me, this other guy. He's just like me. And we knew each other, and we got along really well, and we became friends. And we helped each other survive on Ganker Island. And now we have to help each other in the most powerful way. Because we realize that if we can kill the judge and the baker, that we'll get off of Ganker Island. We'll finally be free because they have 2 tickets. They wear them like lanyards. It's like necklaces or whatever. And so if we can get them, then we can leave this stinking place, and we can make a new society as our own bakers. No, my friend! He made an ultimate sacrifice. There can be no happy ending for him. One last lesson for me, that I have to learn about the power of sacrifice from your friends. Isn't it sad? Isn't it sad? And now, there's not gonna be another guy to help me. My only true friend. I get along with a lot of people, but that guy was my one true friend on Ganker Island because our stories were so similar. We had similar origins. And so for the audience to see him die means that I'm also not safe. And it gives you a sense of drama, because who knows what might happen. Anything could happen. And so that's how you know that, this literary piece has consequences. No character is off limits. Here they come. They're going for it. But the baker goes down, and now it's just the judge who sentenced me to life on Ganker Island. And I'm gonna take his lanyard, and I'm gonna sentence him to death on Ganker Island. And then I'm gonna leave. And then I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna go back, and I'm gonna start a new society. A new society where all the power isn't had by a handful of judges and bakers. The end. Hey guys, I'm Saint Riot, and I really approve of this video, and I thank you so much for watching it and for looking at it and just engaging with the content. So I'll see you next time. Later, y'all.